Hey, welcome back to the Silver Hearth. I'm Maira, and if you're new here, hi! Grab something warm, sit down. So, today is actually a really special one for me. Like, genuinely. Because today is the spring equinox, Ostara. And I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, because this is one of those moments in the wheel of the year that I feel really deeply. But also, I have a guest today. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous to ask him. He's not exactly the type who does this. He's more of a forest at 3 a.m. type. But he said yes. So, before I bring him in, I want to set the table a little. Talk about what Ostara actually is, why it matters, and why I think this particular turning of the wheel hits different than any other. So, Ostara. It falls on the spring equinox, the moment when light and dark are in perfect balance. Equal. Neither one winning, just holding. And then the light begins to take over again. In the old Celtic and Germanic traditions, this was a sacred threshold, not just astronomically, but energetically. The earth is literally waking up. Things that were dormant, seeds, roots, hibernating creatures, begin to stir. And I think that's why this one resonates so much with me personally, because I know what it feels like to be dormant, to be in a season where things feel still, or stuck, or like you're waiting for something you can't name yet. Ostara says, that season has a purpose. The stillness was not failure, it was preparation. The seed doesn't apologize for being underground all winter. It just grows when it's time. For this turning of the wheel, I work with a few specific stones. Green aventurine, which carries this energy of new beginnings and possibility opening up. It's one of those stones that feels like a door being unlocked rather than opened. Like, the way is clear now. You just have to walk through. Clear quartz, for clarity and intention. Because Ostara is a planting time, not just literally, but energetically. Whatever you put your intention behind right now has the energy of the whole season behind it. And Moonstone, because we're still in a liminal space, still at the threshold. Moonstone helps you move with the transition instead of being overwhelmed by it. You don't need any of these, as always. But if you're someone who works with physical anchors, these are beautiful ones to sit with today. Okay, now I want to bring someone in. I've known him for not as long as he's known himself, which is saying something. He's the kind of person who makes you feel like the world is older and stranger and more beautiful than you thought, just by being in the room. Or the forest. Usually the forest. Donovan, you there?
Why, yes, of course. I'm right here, Maira. She makes me sound far more mysterious than I am. Actually, no, she doesn't. So, Ostara, you know, I have watched this day arrive more times than I can easily count. And I will tell you something that perhaps surprises you. It does not become ordinary. The light returning never becomes ordinary. There is a moment, just before dawn on the equinox, when the world holds its breath, when you can feel the balance. Dark and light, perfectly still, perfectly equal. And then the sun rises, and something shifts, not loudly, not dramatically. It is not lightning or thunder. It is more like a door, very gently, clicking open. The Celts understood this. They were not a people who needed things explained to them in straight lines. They felt the wheel turning. They built their lives around it. Samhain, Imbolc, Ostara, Beltane, not just seasons, thresholds. Moments when the membrane between what was and what will be becomes very thin. Ostara is a threshold of becoming. The hair, one of its oldest symbols, does not plan its movement. It simply moves, fully, without hesitation. There is something instructive in that. I want to speak for a moment about what this season actually asks of us. Because rebirth is a beautiful word. People like it. It sounds clean. But rebirth requires something to have ended. You cannot plant in ground that has not been turned. Whatever you are carrying into this spring, whatever did not survive your winter, I want you to consider the possibility that its ending was not a failure. It was the turning of the wheel. I have seen things end that I loved deeply. I have stood in the wreckage of seasons I did not choose and could not stop. And what I know in a way that goes past words, is that the ground underneath was always preparing for something. The tree does not grieve the leaves it releases in autumn. It trusts the root. Whatever you released this past season, intentionally or not, trust the root. You are still here. The light is returning. And something in you is already beginning to stir that you may not have words for yet. That is Ostara. That is the wheel turning.
Okay, I just want to sit in that for a second. Trust the root. I feel like that's the whole video, honestly. But I do want to add one thing. Because Ostara for me is also about creativity, about expression. We talked about that in the sacral video, how creativity is how energy moves from the inside out. Spring is when that wants to happen naturally. Everything is pushing upward, outward. If you've been sitting on something, a project, an idea, a conversation you need to have, a thing you've been wanting to make, this is the season that's asking you to let it move. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Plant the seed. Let the season do the rest.
Well said, Maira. The girl really knows her stuff. And so, I will add only this. The equinox does not ask for your readiness. It simply arrives. And so does the next version of you. Whether you feel prepared or not, the light is returning. The wheel has turned. And something that was sleeping in you is waking up. Pay attention to what stirs.
That's Donovan, everyone. Forest at 3 a.m. Told you. Thank you for being here, genuinely. And thank you all for being here at the Hearth tonight. This one felt important. Light a candle if you have one. Hold your stones. Write something down, even if it's just one sentence about what you're planting this season. And we'll see you next time. I'll see you at the Hearth.